Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just gone down into Bitcoin, but got a CoinsKid. So what we need to see in the price action, as well as this Cbbi indicator, which currently sitting at 13, is the uptrend structure. Okay, this is something we need to just kick back, relax, wait for. Like I said to you, you're going to run into resistance, you're going to come back for support to break that resistance. This is how it all works, okay? On the monthly, we ran into the 10 EMA and the 55 EMA. On the 5-day, we've run into the median line of the Gaussian channel, which is a very, very powerful level of resistance. And equally on the weekly time frame, we've sort of ran shy of that 55-week EMA, and then we're retreating. So right now, we're retreating, and we're coming back to find the support to come up and smash it, okay? And if we do smash it, for me, you will see an uptrend structure begin to carve out, confirmation of a bottom, and equally on the Cbbi indicator here, you will start to see this come back and then smash this high, creating the uptrend structure in the Cbbi as well, okay? And this is what we want to see, not just in the price action, we want to see this on the Cbbi as well, you know, because down here was a maximum opportunity, wasn't it? Number 2, although at the time it never felt like that. And I remember at the time, you know, the whole way down here, I said to you, if we get down to 2, it's going to be opportunity, but it's not going to feel like opportunity, because opportunity never feels like opportunity. And right now we've sort of ramped up. You can clearly see, look at the big impulsive move here, represented by that big wave, okay? So theoretically, all we need to see going forward is higher highs and higher lows in the Cbbi going forward to get bullish about, you know, potential that was your true bottom. And right now we're starting to ramp up the stairs impulsively and correctively. And this is how it all works, okay? Just there off this bottom, ramped up, came back, ramped up. Look at that massive impulsive move there for Bitcoin, okay, before coming back down in this big ABC correction. So what we're looking for in the Cbbi, as well as the Bitcoin price, is just an uptrend structure. Higher highs, higher lows, come back, hold support, up she goes, basically. And you know, it's just something you could be patient and wait for. Like I said to you, the whole time, just you could wait for the confirmation of the bottom by breaking that weekly 55 EMA, the 10 monthly EMA, and the 5-day Gaussian time frame, okay? So at the minute, I'm trying to find any targets to the upside or any targets to the downside, given patterns or whatever. So right now, we'll dive into the charts and see what's going on with Bitcoin, okay? But I'll remind you, keep an eye on the Cbbi index. It's a really good indicator. That was a really good opportunity. It's been proven it was. And right now, what we're looking for is just continue uptrend structure here. If this thing starts to come back down again and it goes to 2 again, then you know what to do, don't you? Okay, so let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now. So looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, now I think if we start to see consistent closes below that yellow line right there, which is a weekly 20 EMA, then I think that's a really bearish statement from Bitcoin. And it could just be a looking glass to another impulsive move to the downside. And the fact that what we've got here, you know, I've gone through this particular count with you before, is the fact that we've got a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, and this is an irregular ABC correction that's come down, and then boom, we're going to drop again, and that's your final 5th wave of a massive C wave, basically, for Bitcoin. It's an absolute possibility, and this is why I wanted to see this high broken. I think if we do come up, and you know, we find support and we start to come up and take out that, I think that's really, really bullish, and this is something I've been saying the whole time. If we break through that 55 EMA, I think that's a really bullish statement from Bitcoin. You know, you're reversing the trend on the weekly time frame by getting back above this 55 EMA, because this is something you need to see. You need to see Bitcoin back above 55 EMA in a golden cross right there. So we've kind of failed at the first hurdle here, and what we're doing, we're coming back for support, okay? So the bearish scenario here is that if we start to close multiple times below that 20-week EMA and back inside of this resistance, okay, look at this resistance, breakout, back test, turn support, this would be deemed as some kind of bull trap, or you know, some kind of throwback back into this pattern. This can actually happen. If that is the case, and it's not done it yet, please remember we've got 2 days and 13 hours left. If we do close back inside of this pattern, okay, and turn this into resistance once more like this, and equally the weekly 20 EMA, we start to lose that support, that's really bearish, and it could be a projection to another impulsive move to the downside. Now if that is the case, and you know, and this has been some kind of a regular correction where this is a wave 3, this is a wave 4 right now, okay, and then right now we're beginning a new impulsive move to the downside, then we have to put the fibs on and project another impulsive move to the downside. So that's your low just there for Bitcoin, okay? And like I said to you, that this trend line, it's not done it yet, but I have to show you it. But this trend line, I think, will be key support in the future if we do break down again, because it's been amazing support there, and equally support there as well. So, you know, I can't call it. I don't know 100% what Bitcoin's going to do. It is all about support and resistance, like I've said to you so many times. What we're looking at here is price compression, break back up at 55 is a really bullish statement. You know, it is something that is possible still, even from this moment here, because, you know, many times we see basically breakdowns on Bitcoin, whether or not we see breakouts to the upside or breakdowns, you do usually see at the top, if it's bearish, you see a big wick, and if it's bullish, you see a big wick at the bottom. So this weekly close is not quite finished yet. So, you know, we got a massive weekly wicks just there, holding support, and then we start to come back up. So for me, it really is important that we do see the weekly close back above that weekly 20 EMA. We can't afford to see that turned into resistance if we want to be bullish here for Bitcoin, and that's the truth of it. So if we do start to come down, in a minute you could say, okay, all we're doing is we trace into the 1 fib. At the moment, we've found a bit of support on the 0.5 fib. If we do see a wick this week, we've got 2 days, 13 hours left. If we see the body of the candle come up and close back above that yellow line, which is roughly, what is that for Bitcoin? 21018 at the moment. If we get the weekly close above that, the end of the week, I think is a very bullish statement from Bitcoin, because this would be classed as some kind of fake out liquidity grab for the continuation of this trend, okay? And Bitcoin's printing a very bullish signal. But until it does that, we are losing support. We are having some kind of throwback, but we're looking for the confirmation of this support being lost by the close, okay? So please be patient. Like I've always said to you, patience is key. You know, even though you're doing this and doing that, you have to wait for closes above resistance or below support. And it's the same here. When everyone was saying we were going to go and do something like that, I said to you, you're not losing a 55 EMA down there. It's looking pretty tasty for another impulsive move to the upside, and it was. We rode two beautiful 1618 targets up there. I remember it like a boss. But anyway, that's a different story. So right now, we can't get too bearish until we see the weekly close. Although we are coming down and correcting, at the moment we are just falling through these fibs. So, you know, the nominal level of support for me, and this is where you might see a bit of a wick grab, is the golden ratio. So if we do come down again, and we sort of come down like this, we might get a wick grab off the golden ratio, the 0.618 at 18763, before we start to come back up and close back above that level of resistance right there. So for me, I'm not looking to short Bitcoin at the moment, because I think it's in the floor. I think there's a lot of FUD around, and I think this could be some kind of manipulation for Bitcoin. One thing that does give the game away, I've not really checked the volume. If we've got massive increase in volume, that's always indicative of a very powerful trend, and we've not. You know, look at the push down there. It's sort of coming down. As you're coming down, the volume's increasing. We're not really seeing any volume at this breakdown. So for me, this could indicate that this is some kind of little bear trap at the moment. I don't want to be too bullish, obviously, but it is all about the closes. So please be patient. Wait for the weekly close. If it closes below that yellow line, that's bearish. If it closes back above the yellow line, that's super bullish, and this was just some kind of liquidity grab. And I think you've got another impulsive move there, and we found the bottom basically there for Bitcoin. So I would think, you know, if we do start to come down again, the golden ratio is always a nominal level of support for Bitcoin and its retracement around about $18,760. We might see a little bounce off there before we start to wick back up, back above this level of resistance over the next 2 days, 13 hours. Remember, 2 days, 13 hours is a long time for crypto to do something. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that update. Remember, bearish if we start to see a weekly close below the 20 and back inside of this pattern. I think we've got to project another impulsive move to the downside, where this will start to come really deep. Losing the 1 fib, which is the November low from last year, could indicate that we're going to come back down to this neckline, potentially the 1618, around about $11,526. But for me, I think that would be the end of this C wave, given the wave structure in the count. Okay, but anyway, it's a different story. But it's always possible, and the indication of that is if we start to lose the structure and support and come back into here. Do you understand? We're not doing it just yet, so we can't sort of project it until we do it. And it's all about the confirmation of closing above resistance and closing below support. Hope you understand that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.